amazing people. Good evening and welcome to another exciting time and hashtag trending coming to you live from Spectrum Television. I am Blessing Dixon, but of course you could call me Lady B. Now, if you're just joining me, this is hashtag trending, the one-stop show that keeps you updated on everything trending on social media. I love to say welcome, sit tight, stay cozy. You could grab some snack because it would be an amazing ride. You know the drill already. To get into the interactive space, all you need to do is connect with us via our socials as displayed on your screen or at www.spectrumtv.ng. And of course, you can connect with me via Instagram at official_Blessing Dixon. Now, here's what you do for me real quick. Just grab some snack, grab some juice. It will be an amazing ride. You might need to grab some napkins because you might dab some tears. And of course, when I come back, we'll be taking you to the trendy world. Stay with us. Welcome back. Of course, trust me, it's so much fun to be back again. The program is hashtag trending with Lady B. Now let's scoop the gist. A lot has happened today and I can't wait to tell you. So from everything that has happened, I've put together 13 strong hashtags for you today. And we love to say hashtag stands for every social conversation, and Twitter is that space where we shop for hashtags, as well as Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, in fact LinkedIn, all the socials. So the first hashtag we have for you today is the hashtag on an international day, and that's the hashtag World Multiple Sclerosis Day. Now, what is multiple sclerosis? MS is a condition that affects the brain and spinal cord. Now, World Multiple Sclerosis Day is celebrated May 30th every year to create an opportunity to boost awareness and connect those with MS to resources and improve support systems. As one of the most common diseases of the central nervous system, MS impacts more than 2.3 million people around the world. And according to the Multiple Sclerosis International Federation, the term multiple sclerosis means many scars, and this term relates to areas that appear on the brain and spinal cord after the myelin covering our nerves is damaged or dies. Now, the damaged myelin leaves a lesion behind. These lesions are identified by an MRI when symptoms begin to appear. So today is celebrated as World MS Day. You might not really get a clear picture of what it is. That is why the MS Society UK put together this video for you. Let's see it.
What is MS? Explaining multiple sclerosis, or MS. Hi, I'm Dr. Susan Kohlhaas, Director of Research here at the MS Society. I'd like to explain the science behind multiple sclerosis, or MS. MS is a condition that affects the brain and spinal cord. It's caused by a mixture of genetic and environmental factors. It's no one's fault. The nerves in our body have a coating called myelin that protects them and helps them send messages quickly between the brain and the rest of the body. In MS, our immune system attacks myelin by mistake, treating it like an infection. When myelin is damaged, the messages traveling along the nerve become distorted, or they don't get through at all. Our nerves control everything we do, so MS can affect how you see, move, think, or feel. There are two main forms of MS. The first is relapsing MS, where you'll usually have times of stability in between flare-ups or relapses. After a relapse, symptoms may ease or go away completely. The second is progressive MS, where your symptoms accumulate over time without relapses. Early symptoms might be subtle problems with walking and may come on slowly. There are treatments for relapsing MS. They can mean fewer and less serious relapses and less disability in the future. Most people with progressive MS don't currently have access to treatments, but you can manage some symptoms through medicines, exercise, and physiotherapy. Research happening right now is bringing us closer to treatments that slow or stop disability progression for everyone. The most important thing is, if you're living with MS or know someone who is, you're not alone. We're here for you.
Well, it's safe to say happy World MS Day. Of course, let's try to reach out as much as we can to people and show love to people living with multiple sclerosis. Now we move to politics in Nigeria, where the hashtag fuel subsidy is trending with 92,000 tweets. Now a major point in the president's speech was fuel subsidy, where the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu said fuel subsidy is gone. Now Nigerians have taken to social media to react to this, and apparently fuel is becoming scarce in the country as so many fuel stations are hoarding fuel. Well, let's just take a look at the tweet. Sky at Adebisi Silas tweeted 500 per liter. Well, another netizen called Big Wig Austin at AI Austin tweeted, "You pay 15K from Lagos to Abuja for inauguration, but will pay 30K to return to Lagos today. Mandate, no be so we plan no. Mandate don't dey stranded for Eagle Square." Well, another netizen called The Progressive at Abdul Malik tweeted, "It's barely 48 hours after the new president made an official declaration of fuel subsidy removal, and fuel stations has sufficient supply are already hoarding fuel, causing scarcity. Are we to blame the president or blame our marketers?" Well, another netizen called Emmanuel Maximum Adebayo at Maximum Vopim tweeted, "Fuel subsidy removal, good intention, bad strategy. Killing a mosquito on a scrotum with sledgehammer forcefully." Well, another netizen called Major at Suleiman83 tweeted, "Fuel scarcity due to subsidy removal by the president. The president only said subsidy will be removed, yet children of hate didn't wait for the official announcement by the main body. They increased fuel pump and started hoarding fuel. At Apapa, total is all right." Well, there's been a lot of conversation surrounding the fuel subsidy, but of course the question is, how much is fuel in your area? If you're watching this video, we want to know how much is fuel in your area. We're still talking about politics. We move to the hashtag President Bola Tinubu, which has gathered 44,500 tweets. Now the president has resumed office with conversations around his resuming office. Also, his verification badge on Twitter was removed. Well, let's just take a look at the tweets that follow. Arise News at Arise TV tweeted, "President Bola Tinubu assumes office. President Bola Tinubu has officially assumed office after a successful inauguration ceremony on Monday, marking the beginning of a new era for Nigeria under his leadership. Tinubu was accompanied by First Lady Remi Tinubu. On his first day at work as president, he's currently in a meeting with the group CEO of the NMPC, Mele Kyari, and the governor of the central bank, Godwin Emefiele. Well, another netizen called Imran Muhammad at Imran Moods tweeted, breaking: Godwin Emefiele, governor of CBN, is currently at the presidential villa in Abuja for a meeting with President Bola Tinubu. President Tinubu, whose vehicle entered the villa at 2:30 p.m., inspected a parade by the guards of honor. He was later received by the vice president. Well, another netizen called Archangel Jesse Holiday at AA Jesse Holiday tweeted, President Bola Tinubu has made his first mistake as president and Nigerians are suffering for it. Fuel is now being sold for 600 naira. Rufai. Well, another netizen group and the media house called Punch Newspapers at Mobile Punch tweeted, Twitter removes Tinubu's verification badge. Microblogging media platform Twitter has removed the verification badge attached to the account of President Bola Tinubu. This is coming hours after the verification badge of the immediate past Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, was removed on Monday. At the time of filing this report on Tuesday, our correspondent observed that Tinubu's tag had been removed. However, the one on the account of the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, remained. Well, another netizen called Makanaki at Makanaki tweeted, the badge for government handles are no longer blue. It is gray-like in color. Maybe the official ABAT handle is in the process of having the tick color changed. Well, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFRN at NGR Press GCFR tweeted, the public is advised to note that President Bola Tinubu's declaration that subsidy is gone is neither a new development nor an action of his new administration. He was merely communicating the status quo, considering the previous administration's budget for fuel subsidy was planned and approved to last for only the first half of the year. Effectively, this means that by the end of June, the federal government will be without funds to continue the subsidy regime, translating to its termination. The panic buying that has ensued as a result of the communication is needless. It will not take immediate effect. Well, in the next tweet they said, furthermore, President Tinubu was clear about his plans to rechannel the funds previously devoted to the payment of subsidies into better investments that will cushion the effects of the removal of on the general public, especially the poor of the poor. This includes, but is not limited to, investment in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, and jobs that would materially improve the lives of millions of Nigerians and increase their earning potential. Well, there are videos backing up the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, let's just take a look at the videos now.
Mr. President and his lovely wife will be taking the stage and we're going to watch this beautiful dance. So I ask you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to welcome our president and his wife.
Red roses too, I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
We now invite Mr. Vice President and his wife. Mr. Vice President and his wife will now join Mr. President and his wife on the podium for this inaugural dance.
The colors of the rainbow, so shaking hands, it's cry. I watch them grow, they're like mushrooms, and I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Well, that's the video of the military officially welcoming President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Aso Rock this morning. And the previous video was the video from the inauguration dinner. Well, we move on to the next hashtag, which is the hashtag ASU. Yes, ASU is trending with 18,000 tweets. Now, the National Industrial Court has upheld the no work, no pay rule by the federal government in the suit filed against the Academic Staff Union of Universities, also known as ASU. In a judgment delivered by the president of the court, Justice Benedict Kanye, the court held that it is within the right of the federal government to withhold salaries of workers who embark on industrial action. The court, however, noted that it is a violation of university autonomy for the federal government to impose the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System (IPPIS) platform on members of ASU who reserve the right to determine how their salaries should be paid. Well, this has gathered a number of tweets on the net. Let's just take a look at the tweets that followed. Alex Oluwatobi at Alex Loba tweeted, "During the 6-month ASU strike in 2013, I went to look for factory work at Sumo Foods in Oluyole. I was part of the lucky few that was asked to resume the next day. The pay was 350 naira per day. The shift was for packing and sealing biscuit cartons. I did it for just one day, got back home that night and cried like a small baby. After nursing body aches and fever for a week, I went back to my recharge cards and phone call business at Sango Garage. Factory work in Nigeria die. I really hope the working condition and pay is better now." Well, another netizen called Anthony, not Joshua, at Anthony Steel Day tweeted, "Make ASU even strike. This school don't tire me." Well, another netizen called Mayowa Olagunju at I am Dr. Mayo tweeted, "National Industrial Court declares no work, no pay legal for ASU. Says ASU is not entitled to salary during the period it embarked on strike." Well, another netizen called Radio Jukebox at Mira of 4 tweeted, "Court upholds federal government's no work, no pay policy in suit against Nigerian university lecturers ASU in the recent 8-month strike action." Another netizen called Pastor Okhezie J. Atani at St. Freaking Kizzy tweeted, "Federal government versus ASU. National Industrial Court declares no work, no pay legal for ASU. Says ASU is not entitled to salary during the period it embarked on strike." Well, another netizen called Tolu Oguleshi at Tolu P. Oguleshi tweeted, "Court held that it is within the right of the Nigerian government to withhold salaries of workers who embark on industrial action. Court, however, held its violation of autonomy for federal government to impose IPPIS on members of ASU who reserve right to determine how their salaries should be paid." Another netizen called the media group called Channels Television at Channels TV tweeted, just in, court upholds federal government's no work, no pay policy in suit against ASU. Another netizen called Nifemi Oguntoye at Nifemi Oguntoye tweeted, federal government versus ASU, National Industrial Court declares no work, no pay legal for ASU. Says ASU is not entitled to salary during the period it embarked on strike. Another netizen called Woye at Woye1 tweeted, sad news. National Industrial Court has declared legal no work, no pay policy in suit against federal government. At Mbori cured the madness of prolonged strike in Nigeria. ASU and other unions in Nigeria must go on strike within an acceptable period as dictated by law. So Mbori and Senator Ngige were correct. Another netizen group called The Cable at The Cable Nigeria tweeted, federal government will not pay salaries of ASU members who participated in the strike. Court rules. Well, this is all the update we have on ASU. Just in case you are a Nigerian student and you were scared, why is ASU trending? Are they about to go on strike again? Well, it's just about the industrial court ruling the no work, no pay for ASU and its members. Well, we move on to still on judicial matters to the hashtag Hilton Hotel, which has gathered 39,000 tweets. Now, the court has sentenced the Hilton Hotel owner, Dr. Adedoyin, to death for OAU student Adegoke's murder. Now, the Osun State Chief Judge, Justice Oyebola Ojo, has declared that Dr. Rahman Adedoyin, owner of the Hilton Ile-Ife Hotel, where Timothy Adegoke, an Obafemi Awolowo University postgraduate student, was allegedly killed, should die by hanging. Earlier, the court found Adedoyin culpable of murder, and the chief judge in her judgment said the owner of the hotel and two of his workers, based on the circumstances of the case established by the prosecuting counsel Femi Falana, are found culpable of conspiracy to commit murder and unlawfully killing the deceased. I would love you to recall that Adegoke, the OAU student, the deceased OAU student, had lodged in Hilton of Hotels and Resorts in Ile-Ife upon his arrival from Abuja on November 5th, 2021, to enable him to arrive early for his examination at OAU Distance Learning Center, Moro, Osun State on November 6th and November 7th, 2021. He later went missing and was found dead, buried in a grave. And following a police investigation of the hotel owner, Dr. Rahman Adedoyin, and its workers, after Adedoke was declared missing, the police was invited and 7 suspects were arrested, after which investigation commenced. Today, Dr. Adedoyin has been sentenced to death by hanging. Let's just take a look at the tweet that followed. Isaac A. Obasi at Obasi Foundation tweeted, breaking, Osun Chief Judge Justice Oyebola Ojo has sentenced money ritualist Dr. Rahman Adedoyin, owner of Hilton Hotel Ile-Ife, to death by hanging for killing and using a master's degree student, Timothy Adegoke, for money rituals. Well, another netizen group called Opaj News TV at Opaj News TV tweeted, Osun State Chief Judge Justice Oyebola Ojo has sentenced Dr. Rahman Adedoyin, owner of Hilton Hotel Ile-Ife, to death by hanging. Well, the media group Sahara Reporters at Sahara Reporters tweeted, breaking, court sentences Hilton Hotel owner Dr. Adedoyin to death for OAU student Adegoke's murder. Well, the netizen group called Instablog Niger at Instablog Niger tweeted, hashtag justice for Adegoke. Court sentences popular Osun hotelier Rahman Adedoyin to death by hanging. Dr. Rahman Adedoyin, the owner of Hilton Hotel in Ile-Ife, Osun State, has been sentenced to death by hanging over the murder of a master's student of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Timothy Adegoke. Well, another netizen called Olumo of Debbie at Olumo of Debbie tweeted, Osun State Chief Judge Justice Oyebola Ojo has sentenced Dr. Raman Adedoyin, owner of Hilton Hotel Ile-Ife, to death by hanging. Well, another netizen called Anate Enesi at Anate2010 tweeted, Gist lover Oriyomi Hamzat and others really worked their socks off to get justice. This Adedoyin man pulled strings to be let off. Well, another netizen called Man of Letters at Letters to Jack tweeted, remember Timothy Adegoke, the OAU master student who was murdered in the Hilton Hotel in Osun State. Dr. Raman Adedoyin, the owner of the hotel, has been sentenced to death by hanging today by the Osun State Chief Judge, Justice Oyebola Ojo. Well, another netizen called Jodela at JJ Odela tweeted, this Hilton incident just reminded me of one hotel I almost lodged in Ilorin. This hotel was very secluded with more than 30 rooms, but they were mostly empty and the workers there were not up to 4. I had to cancel payment and look for another hotel. Well, let's just take a look at the video of what happened in the court. Well, a lot of netizens are saying justice can be delayed, but it would never be denied. And may the soul of Adegoke rest in peace. We move to another hashtag, that is the EFCC, which has gathered 17,500 tweets. Now, this morning, officials of the Department of State Services, DSS, stormed the Lagos State Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, claiming ownership of the building located at number 15A Awolowo Road in Lagos. Now, EFCC staff was said to have gone about their work peacefully, thinking that the DSS operatives were there to maintain peace for the inauguration, which was held on Monday. Meanwhile, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has described this as a seat, the presence of the operatives of the Department of State Services, DSS, at the Lagos State Office. Now, they said this development is strange to the Commission, given that we have cohabited with DSS in that facility for 20 years without incident. Well, this statement was made by the anti-graft spokesperson Wilson Uwajaren, who said this in a statement. The DSS, in a statement by its spokesman Peter Afunanya, had said that it is not correct that the secret police barricaded EFCC from entering its office. The service is only occupying its own facility where it is carrying out its official and statutory responsibility. This is what the spokesperson of the DSS, Afunaya, said. Well, let's just take a look at the tweets. Channels Television at Channels TV tweeted, DSS storms EFCC Lagos office, claims ownership of the building. Well, another netizen group called Yaba Left Online at Yaba Left Online tweeted, SSS blocks EFCC officials from accessing Lagos office. Well, another netizen called Uche Bakadi at Uche Bakadi tweeted, go to court. DSS refused. Rather, packed 2 armored personnel carrier outside the gate and took over our premises to prevent us from entering our offices, lamented an EFCC staff. Law officers ready to take on each other in a show of shame. anyhow continues. Well, another netizen group called Instablog Niger at Instablog Niger tweeted, DSS reportedly stormed EFCC's Lagos office to claim ownership of their building. Operatives of the Department of State Services on Monday, May 29, reportedly stormed the Lagos State Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), claiming ownership of the building located at Awolowo Road in Lagos. Well, another netizen called Valencia at Young Kid Music tweeted, this is very bad. DSS should arrest all EFCC met there and proceed with the investigation. EFCC should also storm the DSS office and arrest all of them for illegal and forceful claim of property. Make any of them no gree, make the country cuckoo scatter. Well, your opinion solely remains yours, and now that's with Spectrum Television. Another netizen group and the media house called Sahara Reporters at Sahara Reporters tweeted, breaking, suspect in EFCC custody feared missing after takeover of its Lagos office by Nigeria's secret police DSS. Let's just take a look at the video real quick. Well, we hope that the agencies sort out their differences soon, because this is like putting us out there in the limelight in a bad image, like the image of Nigeria, the image of our security agencies. I mean, EFCC and DSS having a clash. Well, we wait and we watch with curious eyes and folded arms. And of course, Spectrum Television will be here to bring you the updates as this unfolds. Of course, we move to another hashtag now in politics in the international scene, where the hashtag WhatsApp is trending with 275,000 tweets, with conversation on the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's WhatsApp messages. Well, let's just take a look at the tweets that follow. Sky News at Sky News tweeted, Inquiry Chair Lady Hallett had ordered the government to hand over Boris Johnson's WhatsApp messages alongside diary entries and notes by 4 p.m. on Tuesday, 30th May. The deadline has now been set to 4 p.m. on Thursday, 1st June. Well, another netizen called Andrew at Courier by UK tweeted, if Boris Johnson's WhatsApp messages still exist, wouldn't they be stored on his phone? That will explain why the cabinet office haven't gotten them. Well, another netizen called Neil Stevenson at Body Sat Nav tweeted, Downing Street says some of Boris Johnson's WhatsApp messages not permanently stored. Downing Street has said there's no requirement to retain every WhatsApp message. Suddenly remember they haven't gotten them. It's incredible. How dare they lie so blatantly? A police matter. Well, another netizen called Daddy Needs Coffee at Adam Giddens tweeted, Boris Johnson's WhatsApp messages will finish his career, finish his marriage, finish his funding, and quite possibly finish his freedom. No wonder he doesn't want to release them. Well, another netizen called Kerry at his Witston tweeted, Lord Falconer saying what we all know. The government are keeping back the WhatsApp messages with them and Boris Johnson because it would take them down with him. The House of Cards is tumbling. Time for hashtag general election now. Well, let's just take a look at Lord Falconer's video.
That the government who appointed Baroness Hallett, who is a very respected judge, but the government can't complain about it because they appointed her. She says, and she says she needs this to look into how it went during that period. And she says, and they say, no, I'm afraid you can't have it. And they say, well, we've given 55,000 documents already. People often say that when they're trying to cover something up. Look at all this material I've given you. And they avoid giving the key material, because the key.
Well, if you don't know the backstory, Boris Johnson said he had made some findings about the COVID-19, and everyone is pressing him, especially the inquiry panel, to provide his WhatsApp messages and his diary. However, this single proposition has brought a number of controversies. Well, still talking about politics, and now we're streamlining it down to business. The hashtag $1 trillion is trending with 31,700 tweets. Now in business, Americans allegedly owe 1 trillion naira in credit card debt. Let's take a look at the tweets now. Unusual Wales at Unusual Wales tweeted, breaking, Americans owe $1 trillion in credit card debt. Well, another netizen called Rather at Rather Vibes tweeted, new Navida hits $1 trillion market cap, Financial Times. ZIRP is a vibe that even at 5% federal rate. Well, Forbes at Forbes tweeted, Nvidia's market capitalization surged past 1 trillion for the first time in the chipmaker's history Tuesday as the Silicon Valley behemoth rides Wall Street artificial intelligence obsession to new heights. Well, another netizen called metalmarkup.com at metalmarkup tweeted, over 1 trillion in deposits have fled the U.S. banking system since February 2022, the largest drop in over 50 years since being tracked. Got gold? Well, another netizen called American Girl at American Wells tweeted, McCarthy thinks our military budget should get even bigger, closer to $1 trillion. He also thinks oil companies aren't making enough off the backs of struggling Americans, and that the rich should get richer while veterans struggle and people go hungry. Backward priorities. Well, another netizen called Howard Beckett at Beckett Unite tweeted, Norway is using 1 trillion euros plus wealth fund to cut energy bills for ordinary people. It built that wealth over many years by channeling tax from energy giants into a people's fund. The Tories choose instead to channel profits into the pocket of rich elites and not to tax wealth. We'll wrap up everything 1 trillion and in business and streamline the conversation back to Nigeria, where the hashtag Ozomena is trending with 53,000 tweets, with conversations on the Nigerian Biafra civil war. Well, let's just take a look at the tweet that follow. Igbo History and Fact at Igbo Histo tweeted, we remember our fallen heroes today. Dear Igbo Nation, today, May 30th, 2023, marks 53 years since we sadly lost over 3 million Igbo brothers and sisters to Nigerian Biafran civil war. They gallantly fought and died for us to live. Well, another netizen called Nwa Chika Emelu at Chuba Devil tweeted, the bridge across the Niger may have been mended with a brand new one built, but the Nigeria's social connections remains in shambles. No victor was declared, yet all of Nigeria remains vanquished. Hashtag Ozomena. Well, another netizen called Jack at JackNG tweeted, it should never have happened. About 3.5 million people were killed and my uncle was one of them. There's hardly an Igbo family that was not affected by this war. Hashtag Ozomena. Well, may the soul of the deported rest in peace. We move on from Ozomena, but still in politics, to the hashtag Wike, which is trending with 27,000 tweets. Now, Wike's appreciation concert was held in Rivers State, and netizens drew concerns about his health, posting pictures of him before he started the governorship race and his after, a kind of before and after picture. Let's just take a look at the tweets that follow. Simaleyi Fubara at Fubara Simaleyi tweeted, what an extreme privilege to have been groomed, nurtured and mentored by one of the most outstanding leaders of our country, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, CON, POS and Life Venture. Well, another netizen called Omotayo Williams at Kaduna resident tweeted, "What is happening to Wike? Appears something is eating him up." Well, another netizen called Imran U Wakili at IU Wakili tweeted, "Governor Yesom Wike speaks. The president-elect told me one day that someone said he shouldn't trust me. He said that he told the person, look, politics and betrayal is the same mother and father. If you don't want to be betrayed, don't come into politics." This was what Wike said at his Thanksgiving. Another netizen called Sim2023 at Sim Media tweeted, "Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Fubara, attends grand reception in honor of His Excellency Yesom Wike, former governor of Rivers State, organized by Obiakpo local government area." Another netizen called former One Jobless Boy at One Jobless Boy tweeted, "I am now a pensioner. Former Governor Yesom Wike." Well, we wrap up everything politics and move to entertainment, where the hashtag Sheyi is trending with 81,200 tweets, with conversations on Sheyi Vibes and Sheyi Law. Let's just take a look at the tweets that follow. J Ninja at J Ninja tweeted, "Who is the king of snippets in Nigeria? Ashake, Zeno, Kiss Daniel, Sheyi Vibes." Well, Sheyi Law at Sheyi Law tweeted, "Pere, I hope we would be discerning enough and wise not to push a narrative of war because of anger. I know many have called me a tribal bigot for supporting Tinubu, for not supporting GRV, and many more for their own reasons. I have dared them several times to prove all of this, but they have failed, and I have concluded that some Nigerians always project their bellies on others for self-satisfaction. While some of your statements might not be entirely wrong, I ask you in all honesty that if you have researched and probed deeper, why do some people make such statements? People will come for me definitely, and this is one of the mistakes they keep making. Instead of critically analyzing a situation, they believe their anger will change a situation that calls for dialogue. What are some of the reasons for the notion you expressed? I have asked several questions about this several times, and I have also witnessed some of the answers to the notion. While this is painful to discuss, we must come to the table someday. Firstly, it is the average Igbo man's individualistic nature. Many people of other tribes have had dealings with Igbos that resulted in bad businesses and cheating. Does this justify the notion for some? Yes, and to others, maybe. Politics includes the collective and individualistic mindset cannot drive it to success. Second, some Igbos don't have respect for hierarchy or authority even amongst themselves. They believe that my money places me on equal pedestal with elders as long as I am not begging them. This has always put them on conflict with other culture and tribes. Thirdly, some Igbos express hate and a sense of superiority over other tribes without decorum. While many may be quiet about expressing that anger about this, they wait for politics to wield their power. The continuous belief that we do it better and denigrating others from other tribes doing it will never make the Igbos attractive in politics. Political antecedents have also contributed to this notion you stated, from Azikiwe to Aguyi Ironsi. Bad political moves have put a lot of resentment in the wheels of Igbo political aspiration. Dr. Suludo has stated that the mob actions of Peter Obi supporters will set Igbos back politically, and this was collaborated by Dr. Namani. But instead of heeding a wise counsel, these men were incinerated. There are many more to talk about, but I will stop here to receive my whips. While constantly maintained that we must, as a matter of urgency, have a national peace conference to discuss critical issues and resolutions on Biafra war, national cohesion, political integration, and more, the Igbos must also play their part to foster unity. However, this justified your anger. Sometimes we must learn to sit back, reason deeply, and then ask why. Well, this single statement has made a lot of persons to come out again and yet again attack Shaylo. Well, we move on from the hashtag Shay to the last but definitely not the least hashtag this night as we join Simi to celebrate the birthday of her 3-year-old daughter. Yes, Simi is celebrating the birthday of her 3-year-old daughter, Adetare, and of course she took to Instagram to just post and pen down the most beautiful words, calling the daughter the love of her life and saying 3 things she feels for her daughter. Adekunle also shared a very captivating caption. We'll dwell more on this tomorrow, but we'd like to bring you a video of just the compilation of Simi singing for her daughter on her 3-year birthday.
Come on. Hey, 1, 2, 3, go. My name is Deja. I was born in H-Town. I'm so beautiful and my skin brown. I'm royalty and I got my own crown. Ask my mommy and daddy, I make them so proud. If you hear me, then let me hear you say, hey now.
Hey now.
You know I run the whole town. I got the power and nothing's ever bringing me down. Let's get it, baby.
And I say it out loud.
Happy birthday, Adetare. From all of us at Spectrum Television, we're saying happy birthday. May God bless and keep you. This is where we draw the curtains of today's show today. Of course, do well to follow us on all our socials so you can be part of the conversation. We always say, please stay safe and stay out of trouble. I'll come your way again tomorrow. My name is Blessing Dixon. Au revoir.